Welcome back, everyone, to another Who the Heck Are We episode. Juancho, unmute your mics. Because this is your second podcast episode, of course, to do with us and to do, let's say, in your respective, I don't know if you call it careers, right, but experience. Hi, everyone, this is Claro Manzano. Right below us is Juancho Kuna. And then to the right of the screen ganun na lang, is Diego Manzano. Same name, yes, because we're brothers. Okay, but we're not related to sino yan? Si Cedric. Okay, last time we sort of recapped the first round of the UAAP. May nagalit na. Just
Saw
put
that.
remember your predictions at the back of your head, your respective heads. What your top four. But first, let's break it down. Patapos na yung second round. It has been very crazy. UST is 7-7, right? They're number 3. They clinched the last spot.
Yes, sir.
There's the barking dog of our neighbors. So I just want to say it's been crazy. 7-7. Sometimes 7-7, you cannot make the final four. But this season, that's the case. Kasi dikit yung teams. Especially from 3 through 3rd place through 8th place right now. I'll try to make you guys take turns talking. First, Juancho, what do you have to say about this UAP men's basketball season so far with all of that going on?
I think at the end of round one, when we had our first episode together, like the predictions I made there have pretty much gone the way that I thought they would, except for one, and that being my prediction about UE. I think you and I were the two that thought UE would be able to
Yes.
sustain their momentum and stay at the 3rd seed by the end of the round. But now they are in danger of slipping completely out of the Final Four picture because Adamson is right at their coattails, and with UP as their last opponent of the season, it might come down to a do or die playoff with the Soaring Falcons to see who gets that 4th spot and to face LaSalle. Me personally, I hope that it's UE because who's the one team that beat LaSalle? The Red Warriors. I feel like that's a lot
UE.
more interesting.
Well,
Uh,
who's let's just acknowledge NU, of course. Don't forget that NU beat Lasal. Yung tropa natin,
yeah.
si PJ Palasielo. Anyway, yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought, of course.
Okay, I completely forgot about that. But yeah, uh, slipped my mind.
We'll
Slipped
talk
my
about that later. Shout out tropa
The
natin si
VP.
PJ
Yeah.
Palasielo of NU.
Lodi PJ Padashelo. But yeah, I think the second round really, one word to describe it was established. FEU has established their young core moving forward. NU, I think now, like what I said at the end of round one in the recap, they are very much ready to compete next year when they have an FSA once more. Ateneo's young guns, led by Porter and Bahay, they have a lot to offer next season. And yeah, really just this season has been crazy. That's it. It's been amazing, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I've been able to cover it with you guys.
Di pa tapos yung season, okay? So don't forget. Jago, what do you think about this season?
Uh, well, this season as a whole is really different monster. But I think talking about the second round, I think it's easy to overlook just how good Nick Cabanero was. Because if you look at his UAP career, I don't think any one team has found a way to consistently stop him. Like they'll throw a lot of different defensive looks in him. Sometimes they'll double team, sometimes they'll challenge him take the jumper, but he'll make those. Like no matter what you throw at him, like he's shown time and time again that he can score in bunches for the UST squad. And of course, we can't overlook because we mentioned DB a while ago, but Nick Cabanero with a friend of the podcast, he had a big 27 burger over UE. So
Burger.
that solidifies them as the 3rd seed, and that keeps my UAP prediction from the end of round one alive. Because I had Gilas use my first, UP is my number 2, UST is my number 3. Because at the end of round one they were the 4th, and I have UE as the 4th seed. So I think, yeah, we're still waiting to see how that situation will play out. Them and Adamson, of course, Adamson too. We can arguably say it's the best defensive team in the league, so can't count them out yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I've covered a little less games, so it's still up there for me. Game of the season, hand tattoo buzzer beater na alley-oop. off the inbound. It's still there. It's
Yeah.
still
That
there.
game.
Just so you know. Um, yeah, Adamson's been consistent, but when is their day? Obviously, you see what they could do because they have a
Yeah.
fun
But
to watch.
yeah, going back to UST, uh, they've been experimenting with a lot of different starting fives, but it seems that shifting Manaytay and Cabanero into starting five together has given them the spacing that they needed. Yeah, and their recent wins to secure the third seed. Yeah, they've tried bunch of different things. Really, even trying Cabanero off the bench. I think that isn't against
They
any
did.
game. Yeah,
They did a number of times. Late first
yeah.
round, halos.
So it's just interesting to see what Coach Pido will end up going into the final four because yeah, UP and UP's coaching staff led by Coach Gold, you never really know what they're gonna throw at you either. So it's interesting to see what they'll go with. Should that be the final four match? But I think it's secured already. Them as
Already
the
said.
yeah already yeah. It's
Secured
interesting
na
to
yan,
see.
UP, yeah.
Yeah.
Lasal
So yeah,
can somewhat wait. Mm-hmm.
I mean a lot of basketball to play, but really it's really been exciting.
Yeah. I wonder how they will handle all of the rescheduling. What the rescheduling is really more of like junior high school and women's. Yan na apekto.
Yeah.
And then, I just want to say, in the plain basketball entertainment perspective or as basketball perspective, someone who appreciates the game, I want to see a fourth place playoff. This is in a neutral perspective. Ba. You get why, right?
Of
Yeah.
course.
You get a winner, go home, you get an extra game. And if you're a neutral watching, of course, it's an extra day to watch good basketball.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you're the team playing catch up, Adamson, right? Where we have to win, and then UE has to lose. In this situation, yeah, they'll take it. Yan ang lifeline nila. UE slid, right? One win lang in the second round.
So far, yep.
Yeah.
One win only. Yeah. So that's why they sit at 6 and 7. I'm just opening the post of Mr. Varsity Channel here, or Varsity Channel to be precise. Okay, no, we meant Mr. Varsity Channel. You guys met Mr. Varsity Channel last was that last weekend? 2 weekends ago.
Maybe 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends
Yeah.
ago.
Okay, so number 4 right now, UE 6-7. Adamson number 5, 5-8. That's wins and losses. UE wins, automatic. Final 4. UE loses, they go 6-8, and then Adamson loses. Adamson goes 5-9. UE takes final 4. Here's the scenario for a playoff for fourth. Kasi basta may tie for the last final 4 ticket, as we know in UAP rules, right? Somewhat become traditional playoff. There's similar circumstances or scenarios in the likes of football, other sports also. UE loses, Adamson wins. There will be that playoff for fourth. I wonder how will they squeeze that all in. So some games got canceled, right? Mga bagyo. Yeah, even the men's division. To make it slightly more complicated, we are talking about UE and Adamson. They are not playing against each other in the last elimination round game. Imagine that, no, if that happened. So it is UE facing UP. And last time, the first round, UP won by 20. I did cover that game. And then Adamson, this is Ateneo. Tama, Ateneo. Yeah.
Yep.
But what makes it a little bit pagka-cliffhanger, UE and UP will play on Wednesday. And then, kailan to? On Saturday, that is when Ateneo and Adamson will play. So go figure, go figure. That happens sometimes in the UAP. When it's in international sports, like I'm sure you guys watch World Cup. People tuning in watch World Cup. Sabay yung games. You get why, right? There's no, how do I say that? So there's no irregularities in results or anything. I don't think it's gonna happen here though in the UAP.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Generally,
Covered by school passion yan. You get me? Covered by school passion. Get the win. Get the win for your school. All right. Anything else you guys want to add before I'll give a quick football update? UAAP and PFL. Anything else? Yeah, you guys wanted to share? Who impressed you siguro? Nag-improve over the course of the season? and let's say broke out second round. That happens every UAP, you know. That's how Joric Bautista got his groove last season. I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. Is there anyone popping into your head? You guys. Diego na lang muna because Juancho went first a while ago.
Well, before I get into that, I just think it's interesting to see how this sort of mini break will affect the upcoming games because 2 weeks is a lot of time in basketball and especially in the UAP. So yeah, we can see a lot of changes. But who's been standing out? I think you mentioned earlier, of course, Nick Cabanero. But I think that's a
Sure.
bit of an easy answer. So, hmm.
Yeah, it's more of like additional. Who parang most improved player. If there's no one in your head, it's okay. Yeah.
Well,
You have anyone Juancho in your head? Top of mind lang.
Top of mind, yes, I do. So you mentioned Joric Bautista, but we have to talk
Last
about
year.
his teammate. Yeah, we talked about Joric, but you mentioned Joric Bautista last year, but this year we
Mm-hmm.
have to talk about his teammate, the rookie, super rookie, VJ Pre.
the big
Like
friend.
He's
he's
everybody's friend.
Yeah.
he's everybody's friend. And when I watched the game of FEU versus UE in UST, post game, Coach Sean was asked if he thought VJ Pre could become like some kind of version of Kevin Kiambao. Right now he's like a mini Kevin Kiambao, and as a rookie with 4 more years after this, sky is the limit for him because he's a man in that body. He's so young, but he knows what to do with that body. He can stretch the floor, he can rebound with the best of them, and he rebounds well alongside the best rebounder in the league in Mo Konate. So with their point guard of the future in January Pasool, FU has a squad moving forward, and I expect them to be in the Final Four next year because what they did this second round cannot go unnoticed. They they competed. I think they won 5 out of their 7 games in the second round, or four. They won four. One of their losses was against UST, where they had players out due to illness, and their 2 other losses were against UP and LaSalle, but both were close games. So they really are on the right track after starting the season off really slow. Um, they got their footing after beating Ateneo in round one, and they never looked back. But yeah, we have to give major props to Coach Sean Chambers and that trio of Pasaol, Pre, and Konate of the future.
So long
Enduring,
story short, VJ Pre.
yes,
And we
sir.
will say he was already playing well right away in the first
He was.
round. So
And it got
Tinduloy pa.
even better.
If VJ Pre plays well, the team plays well. Mm, you, Jago, anyone?
Well, for me, we mentioned him earlier already, and of course, oh,
Sino?
PJ Palasialo. I think in the last 3 or 4 games, I'm not sure if he's been their leading scorer, but I think he's been averaging 10, I think above 10 points, double figures to end round two. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see because NU, like, they've pulled out what some might call surprise wins over, the top three teams who've been, the top three teams, the LSU, UP, and UST. And but Palasialo played a big part, not just offensively, but defensively on the glass, especially for NU, as you know, because
Undermanned.
he lost in the first game against LaSalle when they lost Diasana. So,
So
yeah, it's
essentially,
hard for Palasialo.
these players were consistent already from the get go. No,
Yeah.
wala yung bigla second round. What did this guy eat during the break? No,
Yeah.
wala namang ganun. Yeah, and
Yeah. And
for
of course,
people, just go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, and of course, you have to read Juancho, FU's young guns, because in the first round, Coach Sean Chambers talking about how they reach a strength to grow, but yeah, it seems like they've taken the fast track because they've shown that they're not just here to learn in this season; they're really here to compete, and they've given every team a run for their money every game. So yeah, bigger things to come. No way to go but up for Coach Sean Chambers and his team because that's the thing with young teams. It really, like, I'm glad that he has the buy-in from his players and from the FEU program. So long term, it's really gonna be fun to watch. And if they play against your school, might be less fun to watch, but good basketball for sure.
Remember, I interviewed Coach Sean, right? To
Yeah,
the people age 40 and up. I'm a rock star.
yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm
Because
walking
he,
up while people are me like, oh, it's Sean Chambers. Yeah,
you watch an interview, no, Juancho?
I did. I saw that. Yeah.
I love how Coach proclaimed it and ang tawag dun? Acknowledge I'm a rock star. But yeah, not every day you have a PB import bumabalik dito
yeah.
Philippines, right? To do something like that.
And
Maybe
you
we
can
can
beat
expect some.
classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, real quick, if we just jump ship to football, we'll get back with basketball, syempre.
yeah,
So bottom line, PFL Manila Digger tops the table right now.
yeah.
They're the dark horse in this season supposedly, but they're doing so well. Last year they had homegrown players, yung mga local players, syempre, mga born and raised here. That was their main core, and then they added foreigners, mainly from Gambia,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're doing so well. Halfway into the first round, double round robin din si PFL, and
Yeah.
then there's right below Manila Digger, there's Cebu, Kaya, Wantagig, Stallion, Davao. Yan, yung mga big names, yung mga kilala
All
nyo.
tied on 10
So,
points, right?
yes, Cebu, Kaya, Tagig.
And
Stallions
I,
right
if I'm
below
not
with
mistaken,
9.
they're all tied on goal difference too. So it's really
Mm-hmm.
just
Yes.
a really fine line separating Kaya, Wantagig, and Dynamic Curve. But for you, Kuya, is there
Yeah.
any one team that surprised you? I mean, sorry. Well, of course, Manila Digger, but sorry.
Yeah.
So, what
Yeah.
teams have surprised you so far?
Outside of Digger?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'll look at it here. Oh, I can say, you could say it's the season surprising me because I go, Uy, ito mga malakas na team. And then you see them win like, you see them win 6-0, 7-0 last PFL.
Yeah.
But remember, they trimmed the field from 15 teams to 10
Mm-hmm.
teams. So now the quality is there. Yeah. The teams have to stock up. So you go, oh, this team is stacked. But now you go, oh, why is this team in number 5 and number 6? Because now, I, now you could say that the teams are dikit. Somewhat similar to UAP, where there's the field bunched up. But here right now, early into the season, the field is bunched up together in the upper half. Kaya medyo nakakagulat. Stallion and Davao are outside of the top four. But then
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
kasama, it's a long list now of quality teams. Yeah, bottom
And you
line.
can't look away because after one match day, you might see a completely different order in the standings.
Yeah, yeah. Kasi dikit eh. Parang for the perspective of basketball fans, was it 2007 and 8 or 2000, that season where the Rockets went on a 22 game winning streak? That was the Wild West. You win a game, number 1 ka. You lose a game, you slide to down to number 5.
Yeah.
Something like that. But it
Yeah.
along those lines. A bit watered down though, of course, but the season's new pa lang. UAAP football, if we go saglit lang,
Mm-hmm.
Ateneo, yeah, Ateneo is a good program, but you can still say they're turning heads because they went undefeated sobrang tagal,
Yeah.
a long stretch. And we're here's the thing: if you win all of your games in football, step ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little unusual, but that's the format. If you draw a game, alam ko, wala na step ladder.
Yeah.
In basketball, it's loose, di ba? Juancho
Yeah.
and Diego.
Let's
Loose
Draw
in
see.
game.
basketball.
Yep.
You want to
Yeah,
use anything like it. But
but
there's a bit of a shake-up too, right? Round two of the standings. Sorry, the standings in round two. Because right now, our third seed is
oh, so how it goes? There's FU, there's UP, and then it's UST Lasal.
yeah, USD. No, I think didn't LaSalle slide to fifth? I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
UP is back in there. So
yeah.
UP after a slow start back in the final four race. I mean, they're nearly out the race, but back in the final four.
Yeah. UP's the team who beat Ateneo.
Yeah,
Shout out
UP's
Liam
the team.
Lampayan scoring that
He's the
one
one who
goal.
scored.
yeah.
Yeah. Kaya daan ka Juancho football. Kain tayo before a
Yeah.
game.
In
Yeah.
round one, right? At Mayo had the big win over UP.
Big win.
I
Yep.
think that was 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carino brace. Then he had the mask celebration.
Yeah, kaya na yellow card.
So
Pa-Halloween nun kasi. So, with this, Ateneo's doing so well. It's a little above par or expectation. But people expected them to do well pa rin, but you get me.
yeah.
FEU, UP, UST, um, people expected a little higher. We're saying this because there's some games na they were supposed to win. So may pagka-inconsistent. Huh, talo sila dito? And then all of a sudden they beat a big team. So that's kind of happening in UAP football also. And then LaSalle's kind of struggling to keep pace with Final Four. UE coach Frank Muescan. He is a former UP coach actually. Ang champion sila. UE is making do with limited resources. And then Adamson, first win, not just in the post-pandemic era, huh? But first win since 2019 or 2018. Congrats to Coach Darton Digga. Yeah, their rebuilding program. You guys know this story, right? Coach Darton. He was so good after he played in season 85. They made him the head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't see that happen, no? UAP. Minsan may transition eh. Mag-pro ka muna eh.
I think he's
So,
getting the PPA like you.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean when he, of course, like the legend like Robert Jaworski. But in UAP. So maybe you can call him Philippine football.
Yeah, Coach Dalton is
That's not
a
a
friend
light
from
name.
Cameroon. Yeah. Well, anyway, sabay siya coaching now and playing pro with Maharlika actually. Kasama rin sa PFL. Next one already, Gilas. Diego, you spoke first kanina. Juancho, back to you. What do you have to say about Gilas? There's two games, no? There's the one against... Which one is first ba? New Zealand? And then Hong Kong?
I think New Zealand is first.
Yeah, but regardless, these are two home games that everyone's looking forward to.
Yeah.
Siyempre, underdog tayo sa New Zealand. Hong Kong, higher expectations. What do you have to say?
It's been advertised for a while. I think I've been seeing the Gilas game commercials on One Sports for a solid 6 months. This whole UAP season, and even before then, I've been seeing those commercials, advertising, selling tickets for the game. But I think this edition of Gilas, we can't really call them too much of an underdog against New Zealand. Like slight underdogs, but not complete underdogs. Because I saw an article earlier talking about the height difference that we usually that we usually have against New Zealand is not something we should be feeling too much this round because their team's average height for this window is also 6'5". This is one of our highest average team heights in a while for Gilas. So we're also
Mm-hmm.
6'5". Yeah. Uh, this is also barring the decision. I mean, not barring. This is also in consideration of the probable decision to keep Brownlee as the naturalized player. Our height becomes a little bit higher if we choose to get Ange Kwame. But yeah, end of the day, it should be fun. At New Zealand, they're known for their strength. They're known for their shooting. They're tough to match up with, and the hack is only the start of it, as we all know. The hack is only the start of it. So it's gonna be a fun game against New Zealand and against Hong Kong. Like always fun to face Hong Kong. Not sure if Duncan Reed is in the roster for this upcoming window, but yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Duncan Reed because yeah, he did play here for the Bay Area Dragons a couple years ago in the PBA,
Mhm.
and he also played for Hong Kong in the last FIBA window, which is quite a while back. So it's gonna be fun to see him and the rest of the young Hong Kong squad as yeah, they
I
always say
remember.
protect home court. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think we'll be able to do it this time. I hope so. Let's see.
I remember, I think Duncan Reed even played in the 2013 FIBA Asia. He was the guy who was like tormenting Gilas din.
Yeah,
Panahon na yan. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see if we can randomly just go and watch the game. But the schedule's been tight for me personally. Kayo, if you can go, just go. Kayo bahala. I'm not saying I'm gonna sponsor your tickets. Just go. Yeah. Anyway, Jag, what do you think about FIBA back to back? Home games.
Uh, well, first things first for me. So of course we have the
Shout out mo na. Look at the screen.
good evening pa shout out Diggs. Good evening Mega Robles. One happy Warriors fan. 'Cause
NBA's next. Sige.
yeah. So Gilas, when you talk about the Philippine national team colors, it's blue, red, and a little bit of yellow. Blue, red, white, little bit of yellow. But I think you might have to add green because Animo Lasal, they have three Casalians there. Jamie Balonzo, Kevin Kimbao, and of course Mason Amos. So yeah, just a little side note, looping it back to UAP. But yeah, always exciting to see Gilas. And this is one of the youngest teams that we've had in a while, we fielded in a while. I don't know the exact figure about the average age, but yeah. A lot of key holdovers. But a lot of those key holdovers are also relatively newer faces to the national team. Like, yeah, as we previously mentioned Malonzo. So, yeah, really
Yeah,
interesting
Coach Tim.
to do under Coach Tim because the consistency between rosters has been there. So, I really hope that we can see their chemistry develop more in these upcoming two games. So, yeah.
What's this? Because Coach, who's this? Coach Tim goes with his crew, right? So that they know the triangle. That's why the triangle's fun to watch. They're running the basics, which is a bit of a throwback already. And then the games will be in MOA, di ba? The games will be in MOA. Home court natin.
And there's
So,
always
go
yeah, there's
ahead.
always like an a difference in ideas, I'd say, rather, between for national teams because the players who are in form throughout the season, it can change. So for national teams, you might have maybe like the top few players in the full country, they might fluctuate to the eyes like the general public. So decide the question like, do you go with the players who are the most informed, or do you stick to the players that know the system? Do you try to build a system into them, or do you just see what fits the talents available? So I think Coach Tim setting up his system might be what's best for the Philippines because, yeah, as Juancho said earlier, this is one of our tallest teams fielded yet, but generally, uh, especially when we go outside of Asia, we're one of the smaller sides. So maybe this approach of Coach Tim really stamping his brand of basketball for the country is what we need. Yeah, really interesting to
You know,
see.
it's exciting when we actually play against non-FIBA Asia when it's in the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
The intercontinental games or
Yeah.
confederation games, you could say. And then they posted here online, Kai Soto can play in the upcoming window. That's big, right? Once you tatas ba yung average height natin if you add Soto or kasama na in the 6'5"?
I think he was part of the 6'5".
Kakala ko, alam mo yan, Adam tatas pa ng konti.
Dinulat
Okay,
ng
it's
mundo.
part na. Yeah. Kasi there's like a preliminary squad of sorts, no? Then you have to name your final 12 for the games. Ayun. So I'd like to think that's good news that Kai Soto can play. Let's get with NBA before we'll give it to you, Juancho. Actually, I've only been following stats, no? Because I play fantasy basketball. So, thankfully, Jago, are you eating donuts? Can I have? Is that donuts? Founders
Founders.
Donuts po. Sponsor natin.
Oh
Sponsor
no,
natin.
I've been a bit sick because I've been this
There you
year at
go.
school. I haven't been sleeping well, so it's just some ginger.
Sponsor.
Yeah, to help.
Sponsor. Hey, because if you're hungry, go get some Founders Donuts. Juancho, you want to give a shout out?
I do because Founders just released a new flavor, Philadelphia cream cheese, filled and glazed. So get them both. They look delicious. I almost passed by SM Bikutan to get kanina, but it just wasn't. I didn't have time for it. But man, soon I really will.
Yes.
Before I do my predictions for NBA or what I have to say about the NBA, shout out
Yeah. Oh,
to
teka lang,
Nash
teka lang.
Kangao.
Give a shout out first to Najib, Juancho. Then I'll just
Yeah.
do my fantasy real quick, and then I'll give it to you. Tapos Diego.
Sige. So yeah, shout out Naj. Naj is a Spurs fan, and he's really happy with the growth of Wembanyama. and I think the rest of the young crew of the Spurs. So yeah, happy that you're watching me, Naj. Watching us, Naj. Hi, Claro, you.
Oh, that's not my barking dog this time. Huh?
Yeah.
Actually, no, ganito. If the dog barking's with Diego, that's our dog. If the dog barking is on my camera, dog ng kapitbahay. Because I'm
But
one
that's
of the
your leave. Yeah.
outer parts of the house, you could say. Anyway, fantasy basketball. Anyway, I haven't really been able to follow the Rockets, no, but fantasy basketball, Juancho sakto pala, sorry. Devin Booker led my team to victory with his performance today. Fantasy. I finally won fantasy. I'm 1-3.
Yeah.
Booker had 44, 6 and 7 points, rebounds, assists, and that's on 51%. That's pretty high. 52%. See Miles Turner,
I
34
have him too.
points. You have Miles Turner also? Well,
I
we can
do.
celebrate this one. 5 threes, 34 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. I think we expect a little more blocks,
We do.
but that's high already.
Mhm.
Jalen Brunson, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, 21% field goal shooting.
Bad day for him.
Yeah, but hey, if he's, alam mo yan, bad shooting day, pero maganda yung stat line.
Yeah.
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 Syempre, that happens to people in the UAP also. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm happy my team finally won. Snapped a three-week losing streak. Kasi kada week may game. Diba?
Yep.
So, if we can go more real NBA, no? Juancho, kasi ako stats lang.
Yeah.
Share what you know.
Okay. I'm thankful that this semester my schedule aligns and allows me to watch NBA basketball. I start at 10 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. 4 days of the week, so perfect as a basketball fan to watch NBA. And I really have been. This morning, I made the quick decision, snap of my mind decision, to wake up at 4:30 and to watch the Wolves versus the Suns. And yes, Claro, while Devin Booker led your team to victory in fantasy,
Ma-
he did
Fantasy.
not lead. He did not lead his team to victory today. Go Wolves. Uh, yeah, but around the league, we have 30 teams, so there's a lot of things we can say about every single team. But to cut things short, let's talk about the teams that are exemplifying the superlatives.
Mga top
So the
4
Cleveland
siguro. Go
Cavaliers.
lang. Oo.
The Cleveland Cavaliers are 15-0. Who would have thought? Garland has been back, has returned to his all-star form, and they've won some of these games without Donovan Mitchell. Their defense has been stellar, being led by the front court of Mobley and Allen, and their bench has been contributing really well. So go Cavs, because their next game is against the Celtics. Will they go 16-0, or will Boston hand them their first loss? It remains to be seen, but that should be a really interesting matchup that NBA fans should look out for.
Can I add something real
Um,
quick?
Go.
15-0 yung Cavs. May step ladder ba?
82, the first 82 and OT ng
Oh,
NBA.
UAP elimination eh. 14 games eh. Ito, 15.
They're balling. What can
Anyway,
we say?
go back. Yeah. What you were saying. Go ahead. Go ahead. The teams you want to highlight. Siguro my top 4 teams yan.
More than 4. I'll highlight also the fan favorites, the Lakers and the Warriors, led by aging superstars, injury-prone superstars in recent years. But so far, they've been able to stay healthy and they have been balling. The Warriors bench leads the league in scoring. Kuminga has started to come off the bench, and Buddy Hield has been Klay Thompson 2.0 for the Warriors. And for the Lakers, they drafted really well with their first round pick, Dalton Connect. Second round pick could be better. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Dalton Connect has been godsend for the Lakers. So I'll highlight those 4 teams, and I'll also highlight in general the fact that there's some kind of injury bug to start the NBA season, because a lot of teams are struggling with their injuries this early on. The Clippers already lost Kawhi for an extended period of time. The Thunder have already lost their 2 front court pieces in Hartenstein and Holmgren. So they've been playing small lately. It's been working. They lost earlier today, but it's been working.
Just speak micro is the word. Micro ball. Yeah.
Yes, sir. With Shea as the tallest one in the starting five, it's been crazy. The Kings have been playing multiple games without Sabonis, Monk, and DeRozan. The Sixers are have only mustered 2 wins because of their injuries to
Just the
Embiid,
process. Just the
Paul George.
process.
The process can no longer be trusted. I think
Or the
the
process
Bucks.
has to restart.
It
Alam mo
has
yan?
to, right?
Kinompleto na halos. They're not tanking anymore. Pero
Or it's like when you
reboot
Yeah,
the
compare
process.
a process was interrupted. Yeah.
exactly.
Jago, we
And
can't see you. We
how
think
can
the
it be
dog is
salvaged?
talking. Let's put him down.
Yeah.
Anyway, say
But
Juancho,
Yeah,
so you can wrap
last
up.
3 teams with injury problems. So the Bucks, yeah, Dame's been out for a couple of games, and they've also started off really slow. People are blaming Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers, but I think there's a lot more issues than that. And last 2 teams, the Nuggets. So Murray's been out often, and Aaron Gordon will be out for an extended period of time. And I think the most kawawa team right now in the league in terms of injuries has to be the Pelicans because you can never count on Zion to be healthy for a prolonged period of time. And literally in game 1 of their season, they lost DeJounte Murray to a broken hand. And they traded big assets for him. They traded away Dash Daniels, who's been balling out. They've traded away Larry Nance, who's been balling out. And to lose Murray just like that in a snap has been the worst thing possible for them. So prayers up for New Orleans Pelicans fans.
Sakit no early on, tapos wala na halos.
First game, man.
Yeah. Gotta
yeah.
hurt yung mga season ticket holders, people who live there. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
But
yeah.
I think we could see Murray soon or early next year, so they could turn it around still.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ikaw, Jago, fantasy, what do you want to share? I know we talk about it when you eat, but what do you want to talk about here? NBA.
Uh, well, Juancho mentioned it a while ago, but the Thunder losing Holmgren and Hartenstein early in this. Well, Hartenstein prior to the season, Holmgren early into the season. They've been playing really small lineups, so they'd have lineups with like Wiggins at the center. Wiggins is like a guard forward, but yeah, having to step up for them there defensively. And you see guys like Caruso, SGA guarding the big. SGA already one of their bigger players, but yeah, no, he's just as a guard in the wing. So this season's really been full of surprises. But I think anything you can say with NBA, among all things, it's always full of surprises. So yeah, but I think one thing we have to mention is the Warriors acquiring the pieces of Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield, because everyone might point to Buddy Hield as, yeah, of course, the splash buddy. It's a
Completely
match made in
independent.
heaven, him and Steve Kerr. But I think people also have to mention that Kyle Anderson and the Warriors might not be the same caliber of shooter, but Kyle Anderson is a point forward. We've seen a lot of point forwards or playmaking wings be successful with the Warriors and Steve Kerr. You might
Si Lee Kyer.
so you might say guys like Sean Livingston, he's a big point guard, not much of a 3-point shooter, and also Iguodala. So yeah, Kyle Anderson and the Warriors. Maybe that I think that is the match we didn't know that the NBA needed.
I miss him, man. I miss him on my Wolves.
I'm sure the Wolves miss. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure the Grizzlies miss him too. The Wolves miss him too. He offers a lot to the team.
Does the China national team miss him? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, because he played for China, right, in the FIBA World
Yeah.
Cup right here.
World Cup.
Anything else you guys want to add? Basketball as a FIBA. I think that's pretty much it, no? Before we carry on. I'll add something,
I
no?
think
After
Juancho
that.
was spot on. So yeah, I have nothing to add.
Okay. Balik tayo UAP basketball because that's what we really cover.
Mhm.
So we broke down ano tawag dito? We broke down yung scenario, no? Yung sa
Yep.
Bucks Final Four slot. Let's predict. Okay, early on we predicted yung Final Four. Ito, let's just predict because of the scenarios. How's it gonna go? I'll start. Hirap nito. It's hard. Okay. I'm seeing a playoff go. I'm seeing a playoff. I'm seeing a playoff. So that means UE will lose to UP. Adamson will beat Ateneo. And then playoff yan, no? Playoff.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Yeah.
did anyone here cover yung Adamson UE game first round?
I was
Second
there.
round?
Off second round.
Do you
Was
remember,
that?
Diego?
Yeah, no, we did because that was the Lingo game winner.
That was the first round game. Second
Oh wait,
round.
sorry, second round. I know we weren't able to. I think that
Oh,
was. I think we had school. Yeah, I think it was Wednesday.
Adamson won that ba? Anyway,
Adam.
you won the first round. Anyway, your prediction, I'm seeing it going into the playoff. And then I see yeah, I see UE taking it pa rin. Close one. Pero ito yung this one this one is hard to pick but nagiging ini-mini-mini mo. Ako, I'll see UE by a playoff. Kayo, who
Yeah.
wants to go first?
You wanna go ahead, Juancho?
All right, no problem. I agree with you, Claro. I think that it'll be UE via playoff, especially if the game is on a Sunday because
Oo nga
Lingo
pala.
Lingo, Lingo Lingo will will
Mhm.
take over the game if it is a Sunday. That's what he's
Mhm.
done. Past couple of Sunday games they've had. Uh, he has gotten a little bit colder in the second round, but
Yes.
he hasn't lost his confidence. He's still firing shots up, and the emergence of John Abate, the emergence of Rainer Maga, and the emergence of Devin Fikes have all those three have made UE like the supporting cast of Momoway a little bit more formidable. Adamson on the other end, we talk about their defense all day, every day, but let's see. On a good day, their offense is great. They were able to have two good offensive games against UP. They were able to have two good offensive games, like most of the round actually. Like they had better offense in the second round compared to the first round. So it's tough for sure, but I think I'll lean a little bit more towards the side of UE. Close
Yeah,
game for sure.
Diego.
yeah.
Baka may
So
gusto naman mag-deviate. Ako na una eh.
yeah, well,
Copying na. Give us
yeah.
something else, Diego. No, I'm just kidding. Go. Like, speak your mind.
Well, as much as I want to give Adamson love because I had UE as my fourth seed in my mid-season prediction. I still want to stick to that, having them as the fourth seed. I think it's going to be a close game, but UE really is a good team. Even though they slipped in the second round, that's still like a fairly small sample size. So I'm sure they can find some of their round one form again. And yeah, as Juancho mentioned, Lingo has gone a bit cold in round two. But yeah, shoot is shoot. So um, so yeah, I think it'll average out, and you will be able to grind out that final win for that final four spot. So yeah, I see a playoff, and then UE is my fourth seed.
Kasi objectively, previous results, UP is the favorite versus UE in the elimination round game. Adamson versus Ateneo. I remember covering that game, and that was a defensive game.
Yeah,
And I didn't. Medyo defensive din because Adamson couldn't struggle on off. Adamson struggled on offense, and I think that's where Ateneo picked up the first win, their first win of the season. Yeah, it was a grinded out game na yung ultra low scoring. Adamson only scored 6 in the first half. But that was a close game, so I'm expecting that when Adamson and Ateneo play. So let's say tuloy yan, playoff for Final Four, the high stakes. UE Adamson, his being closely to one another, closely ranked to one another, you could say. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Also, I want to give a Pat, sorry medyo late yung shoutout mo.
evening,
Shoutout
Pat.
sa'yo. Good evening. Yan, basta sports super fan yan si Pat. I think that does it, guys. No? I will conclude, and then maybe I think we'll meet possibly after the Final Four or maybe after the finals also. We will see. We can't wait to cover the games. Medyo excited na nga ako. So that does it for this edition of Who the Heck Are We? This is Claro Manzano, one of your hosts for Who the Heck Are We, and of course, to the left of your screen we've got Juancho Cuna, and then we've got Diego Manzano below contributors, of course, in the previous or in this ongoing UAP men's basketball season. We will sign out from this episode, though. Bye bye, guys. See you. I'm gonna
Thank
see you
you.
guys though when you go to the arena. All right.